Hello.
What? What was that?
Hola.
What?
Bonjour.
Who? Who's
Bonjour.
Who is Bonjour?
Welcome to the Staying in My Lane podcast, season 3, where we talk with Andrew, my husband, and we listen to his experiences with high school and basic training. So jump in and join the conversation.
I'm doing another podcast with you, part 3. And it's not like the middle of the night and I'm like dog tired either.
You're wide awake. Wide fucking awake.
It's 1:02 in the afternoon.
1:03.
My watch says 1:02.
Your watch is wrong. So what's up?
I don't know. I'm going to have to figure out that watch. It is off, but it's like one of those Garmin watches.
Chew your gum in the back of your mouth. It's going to transfer to the audio. Can we not do that?
Sorry.
It's very cringy.
Golden, Colorado.
Okay. How have you been?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good.
Sorry, I had to take a drink.
Yep, you sure did.
I did. 1873.
Okay.
Coors Banquet.
What's new? What's the gossip? What's the hot commodity?
Me.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry.
You.
Well, I mean, whenever you ask that question, what's hot? What's the commodity? Me. It's just
You're
me.
the trophy.
I'm a trophy husband.
Okay, that's not conceited at all.
Hey, look, listen. If women can be trophy wives, I can be a trophy husband.
People used to call my grandma a trophy wife.
Well, I've never seen a picture of her when she was younger, so I don't know.
She still looks pretty. She's the one that's still, I think so.
Out in Arizona?
Mm-hmm. You know what really drives me up a wall?
What?
The way you sleep.
Why?
Because you look like you're dead.
Oh my, everybody looks like they're dead when they sleep.
No.
Okay.
You lay on your back with your hands crossed in front of you and you literally barely breathe when you sleep.
I'm a shallow breather.
Shallow breather, but you're a heavy breather when you're awake.
I'm a big old mouth breather when I'm awake. When I'm asleep,
yeah,
I barely breathe at all.
It's true.
Apparently.
I've literally had to like shake you awake or like yell at you to wake you up to make sure you're still alive. You
have hit me and woken me up. Let's
I thought you were dead.
Yeah. How many times have you done this now? It's at least almost like a dozen times.
But I will preface that with the fact that I will say, Andrew, and I don't get any movement. And I'm like, oh my God, today's the day. Today is the day. And then I have to, yell at you and you wake up. So.
And you hit me and then you swear at me.
What the heck are you doing? More like HELL.
Yeah. All because
it's a little scary.
Sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
That's okay.
Hey, so let me ask you some questions on your podcast that you host. Okay.
I'm scared.
Okay. Let's talk geography.
I will end this podcast.
No, you won't. No, you
won't. We are going to have to end this episode.
Geography. Okay,
Let me guess. Where's the North Pole? By the Rocky Mountains, Andrew.
No, it's north of there.
I was actually referring to a conversation we just had.
That's right. Before we were doing this, we were driving home. And Lindsay's like, just don't talk about geographical. I'm not good at it. And I said, do you mean geography? She's like, that's what I said. And then I made the comment, I could tell Lindsay to head north and find the North Pole, and she would go west and think she got to the North Pole once she got there to the Rocky Mountains.
That's hilarious.
It's the truth, though.
It's not funny. Haha. Well, I did not pass high school with all straight A's, but I did pass college with them. I don't think I applied myself, but maybe it's also because geography and math were not my strong suits.
Clearly.
No, that's not even a lie. So
yeah, math wasn't my strong suit, but
I got in trouble a lot in high school.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. Well, yeah, you probably got in trouble a lot.
Well,
Because you were a teacher's kid.
Teacher's kid.
That's why I said teachers.
Yeah, mom and dad. And anything I did, they were watching me.
Yeah.
Not my parents, but I mean everybody else.
The school system, the staff.
Run to mommy and daddy and tell them I got in trouble, and then they would have to come over and have a meeting because, people dug notes out of the trash can.
By people, do you mean school staff?
No, like other students would dig like notes out of the trash can for people, and some of mine got dug out because they turned them into the principal. It was like goody two shoes people.
Yeah.
And there was one that was talked about me. Well, we talked about it now in 2 episodes.
The drinking and getting kicked off the cheer team because you were drunk at a cornfield party and ran from the cops and tripped and fell in a hole.
I did. So somebody wrote that, and I got in so much trouble for even talking about drinking on a piece of paper. It was back when, you had passing notes. And
it's the 2000s.
I know. I miss those days.
They had cell phones by then where you could text, but apparently in Southeast Iowa, they were just living in the Stone Age. Still writing on notepads and stuff.
We wrote on a piece of paper and we would make little footballs and toss them.
Yeah.
That's not what you guys did?
No, yeah, we all had cell phones by then, and
okay, well,
we would just use text message.
Redneckville, hillbilly heaven down there.
Southeast Iowa.
Yeah. So, anyways,
something in the water.
Yeah, well, something in the water in Dodge too. So.
Yeah.
Don't know if it's that, but
I swear it's the limestone.
Messing with people's brains.
Something to do with the area. Limestone. Mark my words.
Poison.
I wouldn't say poison. I would just say
toxic. I said that really slow.
Yeah, and a little quiet. Stop whispering. You sound so weird.
No, they would I would get in trouble anytime they'd call my parents over and we'd have a big meeting and I would be bawling my eyes out. And then I would get talked to the whole way home. But I didn't get in trouble all the time. It was just a couple of times and I wasn't very bad.
Yeah. I didn't get in trouble in high school.
No?
Not that I recall anyways. I almost got well.
Didn't you steal CDs?
Did I steal CDs?
Yeah.
Like compact discs?
Compact. For anybody who doesn't know what that is. It's old now.
When I was a teenager?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. A couple of them.
Did you smoke cigarettes when you were a teenager? Or just chew tobacco?
I smoked a little bit, but once I found chew, I went to that. I would chew. So, interesting enough, my first chew ever was Skull Peach. And
does it taste like peach?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a so Skull was very good at having that flavor in there.
Oh.
Whether it be peach, it's like a berry blend, apple, citrus, mint. Skull was always very good at having those flavors be rather abundant and just good.
Nice.
I was 17. I remember putting in my first dip. I was driving in my truck with my best friend at the time. Mm-hmm. And he was chewing it and he was trying to get me to do it, whatever. And I was like, what? I'll try a little bit. Mm-hmm. And we were driving past Duncombe School. I remember it vividly, I was like, that's actually pretty good. I like it. And he was like, got him. Hook, line, and sinker. Oh, and then I got super lightheaded. I didn't throw up, but I was like, wow. I had it in for 5 minutes. And then it's one of those things, try it again. And then found Grizzly Wintergreen. And Grizzly, at that time, it was just all plastic. They had plastic containers, plastic lids. It'd make a really good snapping noise when you would pack it. And that had a wintergreen flavor to it. Holy crap. I tell you, that was to this day, I can't say to this day because I don't chew or smoke anymore. I haven't chewed since 2018.
I would have not been with you if you chewed.
Yeah. Chode?
Chewed. Chewed. If you were chewing
Yeah.
or smoking, that would have been a deal breaker for me.
Yeah. So I'm just reminiscing now because it was so good, especially like as a teenager.
I wish we had visuals right now because you're funny.
Oh man. So me and my friends, what we would do is like when we were hanging out, if we all had money or whatever, because we all had jobs, we would go to like Wendy's, right? And that's when you could like get.
Was that back when Wendy's was good?
Yes.
Okay.
Back when like people actually gave a crap.
Yeah.
You know, the yellow cups and everything.
Oh,
and you can make like when you had like a big size meal, it was massive.
Yeah.
So we would all get that, and we would all always get like the spicy chicken sandwich. So good. And it was always like really crisp and some of the best times. We were just hanging out, right? And then we would just grab these fat dips, throw them in. And like people would look at us too, like because we would do it like when it's like dinner time. So, you know, and they were just like, "Oh my god!" And we're just throwing these huge dips.
Oh.
But we always tried to show like the people who were eating like respect. Like we wouldn't like just like open the cup and spit it. Like if we were done with our drinks, like you'd either pop the cup open and spit in it and put the lid back on, or like you'd spit in the straw, which is always kind of hard. But I mean, we would show the people who were eating like respect, so we would like kind of like turn and duck, so that way, and we'd make sure like nobody's looking at us, so that way we didn't gross them out.
Yeah.
You know? But it was, oh man.
Did you ever chew at school?
A couple of times.
Yeah.
That was really tough.
Why?
Really easy to get caught.
Oh.
And like, for me, like when you throw a chew in, like you start salivating right away, and it's like you spit a lot, and like just that feeling of having like chew, like you're like if like once you eat food and like you're full and you feel good, and you throw a fat dip in, it is like you're on like cloud 9.
The way you say fat dip makes me a little uncomfortable. It's a little like I don't know if I'm supposed to be feeling the way I'm feeling when you say that.
Yeah, it's just so good.
Ugh.
Doing that, oh man.
I think I would get anxiety though, because like salivating, like having a bunch of saliva in my mouth freaks me out.
That's why you have your spitter.
No, but like having to like taking like a medicine or something one time, and like one of the side effects was like extra saliva or something. Yeah. I had a full-on panic attack. I think you were like gone. You were gone. And I don't know what, but I had a full-on panic attack, and I was like crying. And I was like having to like take a paper towel and I shoved it in my mouth and was just like like I was freaking out.
Where was I?
I think you were working.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you were working because I had like a whole roll of paper towels, and I just sat there and I was just like, I thought I was dying.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm a hypochondriac. So, well, not really, but you know, just I get really paranoid really quickly with with any symptom. I'm like, oh my God, I'm probably going to die.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was awesome.
That's terrifying.
But after a while, I mean, like back then, like a can of like Grizzly Wintergreen was like $2.50 a can, and Skull was like $4.50, maybe
They're more
$5
expensive now, right?
Oh fuck yeah. And then we had Copenhagen, which was probably like $8 at the time, $7-8. But we would chew Grizzly. But one thing I noticed is, hey man, can I get a dip? 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 You know, because like we all had jobs, but like my job was the most consistent. And I had one of my friends, he had to help like pay rent with his family because they lived in like a lower income. So, you know, but it's whatever. But we always had Grizzly Wintergreen, and like cans weren't lasting. And I got really annoyed by that. So it was either, you know, because I would go from like Grizzly Wintergreen to like Skull, and like everybody had Grizzly, but then like when you get a can of Skol, like peach or apple or citrus, they're like, "Can I get a dip of that? I'm tired of wintergreen."
Were you underage?
Yeah, I was
How did you get
17 and
this?
18.
So how did you get it before you were 18?
Uh,
We can bleep it out if you want me to.
so my friend works at
Okay.
she's like, well, she was 18 and
Yeah.
she'd buy it for us.
We'll censor that.
Yeah. Or yeah, if you knew some people who could get you to like, then when
Mhm.
the staff would be with them a couple of times, it's like
Mhm.
they'll help you out.
There must be something with that name because the same name, she was a coach and she bought us all alcohol.
Must be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She would party with us too.
Yeah.
She was like 34
Mhm.
and we were like 16 and she'd just party and drink with us when we were.
Yeah.
Oh, my mom and dad are going to listen to this and be like, "Who are you talking about?" Well, yeah.
So she would buy it for us when we were like 17, and she was still in high school too, like because we graduated together.
Mm.
So but by the time I turned 18, it was like, okay, I was able to get my own, which was awesome. But yeah, so I got really annoyed with having to like share a can, really.
Yeah.
Because I was working my job and I was making good money for a teenage kid, you know. So, and I would always go into work, you know, if they asked, they're like, "Hey, can you come into work?" Like, yeah.
Was that when you were working over?
Yep. So when
Okay.
I was at Village Inn.
Okay, so you were at Village Inn.
Yep. And they were like, "Hey, can you come in?" Things like that. Need help. They're like, you know, you get like a free meal too, because the manager would be like, "Can you come in and help work? We're low staff, and you know, I'll pay for a meal," kind of thing. And like, yeah, I'll do that. Plus, I'm getting paid. Heck yeah, you know. So I did that, and I would be able to afford my own cans, but I was tired of always having to buy a new can, like every like it seemed like every day, every couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
So I started chewing Skull Straight, and
I'm gonna reposition myself on this couch.
Yeah. So I was chewing that, and it didn't take because I had tried it before, and I was like, okay, I'm like, I'd like that, and it wasn't. Excuse me, I got to readjust my where I'm sitting. I really enjoyed Skull Straight. I thought it was great. I would chew that, and then a couple of my buddies were like, "Can I get a dip from you?" And I pull out a Skull Straight skin. Wow. I would pull out a Skull Straight can, and they would be like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, yeah, dude.
Was that like your way of not sharing?
Not having to share, yeah. And I got used to it and I liked it.
Yuck.
So they're like, never mind. So they were trying to like bum off everybody else.
Yeah.
But
that's funny.
Boyfriend, his name is he was 21, 22. My other friend, like who didn't have, I guess, it's his older brother, right? So would chew, but he would also chew from time to time.
Is this who your mom confronted?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But he's like, "What do you got for a dip?" I'm like, "I got Skull Straight." He's like, "Seriously?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Let me get one of those." I'm like, "Yeah," because I mean, he's like, you know, he looked out for all of us. You know, he looked out for his younger brother's friends, who ended up being more like little brothers to him. You know, yeah. So he's like, "Yeah," and he would always, you know, if he would have a can of like Copenhagen, he'd always throw a dip at me for it. So it always worked. But he enjoyed that. And then his dad was like, "Oh, yeah." So every once in a while, because his dad was a big smoker too. So it all worked out. And oh, man, when I went to, so I did that from like 17 and then through 18, through like most of the way through my 20s. Chewed a lot when I was in Afghanistan. Chewed and smoked.
I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of you did though. So
I would, yeah, I mean, pass the time to try and relieve stress. I would chew, and then when guys would go out to smoke, because we just walk right out of our little barracks building that we had, and there's a our outpost wall is a stone wall. We would just sit there and, well, if they're going to go out and smoke, I'm going to bring a cigarette too. So I would chew and smoke at the same time. Yeah. And then other dudes saw me doing that, so they started doing it, you know? Because, I mean, we had like no morale. It was like, from the time we got there to the time we left, it was like bottom of the barrel. None.
Yeah.
Everybody was just, by the end, just so pissed off.
Yeah.
You know? So. And yeah, so that's my chewing story.
I don't know if I have any stories.
I'm still thinking about it. Still takes me back to being a teenager. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like when after my first marriage ended and I was single, playing video games like online, like playing Call of Duty online with friends. I would throw dips in and just game for hours.
Your mom is gonna hear that.
I don't care. My mom caught me chewing when I was 17.
I know. Well, I'm just glad that you don't know, because I would not be with you.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, you know how my parents' house is set up.
Yeah.
And the far back room at the end of the hall, that was mine.
With the titanium nuts sticker on the door.
It's my nuts are titanium.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your bedroom.
Yeah, my bedroom.
Childhood bedroom.
Yeah. So I had the door open and like I had a TV stand and a little TV, and I think I was playing a video game. And I didn't know my mom was going to be home. I thought I got home from school, I got plenty of time. Well, she got off work early and I didn't know it. And I remember like my chair was just over enough to where like I would have to like lean over to look, and I saw her and she saw me and I saw her, because I jumped out of my recliner in my room and I popped the dip out and I threw it in, and I was just standing in my bedroom. Then my mom must have like scurried down as fast as she could, because by the time she got there, she's like, "What are you doing? Why'd you get up out of your chair so fast?" I'm like, and I just standing there, nothing. I'm not doing anything. Oh, and then she found out, and I was like, "All right, yeah, I was chewing tobacco."
Gross.
And she was like, "Don't you have to be 18 for that?" And I was like, "Yeah." She got so mad. And by that time, my dad had got home from work. And she was like, "Michael, you need to have a talk with your son. He's chewing, and you're supposed to be 18. It's illegal. He's a criminal." Or to something to that effect. And so my dad was like, "I just go out of the room. I'll talk to him." And he's like, "Give me the can." So I handed it to him, and he saw it as a Skull Straight can. He popped it open, smelled it, because he was looking at it like he wanted some kind of thing. I'm like, "What's going on here?" And then he told me when he was younger and being a cowboy, going to rodeos and all that stuff and competing, he would chew beech nut. And beech nut, for anybody that doesn't know, it's the tobacco leaves. So you can buy the pouches of like Red Man or beech nut, and it's the leaf, and you grab some of them, you throw them in, and you chew them. You spit when you can, but it doesn't cause you to salivate unless you start chewing on it. And he was like, "I used to do that when I was your age." And he's like, "I watched all the cowboys who were older than me do it. So I did it, but then I'd see that they would gut it and all that stuff. So I started doing that. And he's like, I threw up everywhere, and I quit after that.
Ew,
Yeah, I don't.
gross.
I've tried gutting a few times. I'll get maybe like a couple of swallows, but I'm like, no, I feel disgusting.
That's gross.
Yeah, so gutting is not a thing for me. But yeah, but so I can't. I want to say my dad gave it back to me. Gave me the can back.
Oh,
But
well, geez, you were
mhm.
troublemaker. The worst thing I did was take a turkey to school and then hid it in my room. Yeah,
I've done way worse than that.
well, I'm sure. Well,
Always made sure to be a good kid in school. Just because back then they still had detention.
oh yeah, we had. But did you ever have reflection or no?
Reflection?
Mm-hmm.
What is reflection?
So
sounds like detention.
It's okay. So it's like detention, but you would have to get a sheet, and it was blue, and it was.
Sorry.
It's okay. So it was about reflecting on what you did wrong. You had to answer all these questions and then write a 1-page paper, and then you had to go in front of the entire staff of whatever grade you were in, and you would have to read it out loud to them and explain to them what you can do better to work on yourself. And do you know how embarrassing and how shameful that it made me feel having my dad on that team, because he was my teacher? And I got so many reflections that year. And so I would have to go in, and once you get your third reflection, then you get a detention. I got 7 reflections in 1 year.
Oh, it's not good.
And
wow.
Yeah, so that was embarrassing. But yeah, we had those first, and then the reflections and then detentions. So
yeah, to do detention because I didn't want to have to stay after school. I was like, I don't want to stay after school, and then I'd have to like have my parents called to pick me up, and I get my ass whooped when I get home. I'm good. I'll just do what I have to do to get through here.
yeah,
Because I don't want to be here any longer than what I have to be.
right.
Because there's stuff I want to do, but yeah, I mean, outside of school, when I was
Were
a teenager,
you a bad child?
I did some stupid stuff,
Okay,
but
let's hear it. Maybe not all of it, but
I mean, you know, I didn't go around and vandalize anything.
right.
Did I steal some stuff? Yeah.
I did too.
You know, I think that's pretty common. Even now. Back then.
I feel like it's way more common now, though.
Well, I think it's more common. It's become more. I think it's always been common. It's just easier to get caught now because all of these stores, I mean, you know, so many years since we've been teenagers, there are more security cameras, there's better footage, things like that. Like when I stole some CDs from the music store in the mall, it was very touch and go to do it. But you could get away with it if you like broke the case open when the employees were in the back.
Oh my goodness. Well, my story might be worse than yours. Go ahead.
And then like if you were in Walmart and you grab a DVD or CD and you cut the case open.
That's so bad.
But there weren't cameras like there are now.
That's true.
And then well, I'm not done.
Go ahead, no finish.
I mean, that's like little things that...
Was it easy to do that?
Back then, yeah. Because they didn't, I mean, they didn't have anything.
How were you cutting the cases open?
Just with the
With your
fingernail.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you remember like it's like they're probably I think they're like the plastic wrap was like a little bit
Yeah.
thinner then.
Yeah. And it had like the sticker over the top of it or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So
Okay.
yeah, if you like, on a DVD case, if you like where like you put your finger in to pop it open, if you
Mm-hmm.
break that first and you just follow your finger down the line,
Oh,
you pop it open a bit and you pop that disc out, put it in your pocket.
nice sound effects.
Yeah, and then walk out of the store. Now this is all over 20 years, not 20 years, but
I think you just gave a tutorial for people how to do that if
well,
you want to.
no, because there's cameras all over stores now.
Do they have hidden cameras now too?
Yeah. So and
Yeah.
like they're really good technology and the cameras are very clear and they can zoom in.
Okay.
So no, don't, because it's stupid to do stuff like that. But I mean, people do it. Sorry for popping my fingers, everyone. But anyways, yeah, I did stupid things like that as a teenager, and a couple other things like running from the cops and hiding from them.
Oh my God. A cop running from the cops. Well,
That's right.
You weren't a cop then, but you're a cop now.
That's right.
Well, I ran from the cops a lot, so.
Yeah, I sure did. I ran a lot.
I did too.
There was one time where I was laying as flat as I could in a dark field.
Cornfield?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. This was by let's just say this was a practice field where I was at.
Yikes.
And there was like a car that was used as as bait.
Oh.
To have like.
Ooh, this is good.
And I just happened to. I just happened to be with a few friends who were like, "Hey, let's see if it's got anything." And then the alarm went off, and we ran. And then we see cop cars everywhere, so we lay down, and they're spotlighting everywhere, like the spotlight like going over our heads, like, oh my God.
Shit. Let's share some stories like that back and forth. I have to tell you, I think your CD story might be better than mine because, the safety tags that were on clothes back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
I actually I take that back. Cut that out. My friend and I borrowed one from her mom who worked at a store. And we went in, that's how we stole clothes. We would take the safety tags off.
Oh, yeah.
And then we would put them in our backpacks.
Yeah.
And so we would steal like that. I never got spotlighted by cops, but
neither did I. I was under it.
Well, you were under it, yeah. So I ran from them a lot though. Yeah. There was one time I was drinking and the cops busted the party and I just took off running as fast as I could. And we were, Southeast Iowa, no cornfields. That's all we did was party in cornfields. And there were some woods by it. And I got lost in the woods. And I was by myself and I got separated from people. And I was so scared. I literally might have peed my pants because I was terrified. Because there was like the little hoo hoo in the background and all that. And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to die.
An owl's going to come down and pick your eyes out.
But I waited there for, I think, because they busted quite a few people. And I didn't have a phone because, who has a phone at 15, 16? And I had it, but it was you couldn't get good service or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was one of little tiny ones. But I was so scared. I didn't know how to get a hold of anybody. I didn't know where I was. I was in a different state. I wasn't even in Iowa. And
you're in a little tri-state area.
Tri-state area.
It's not hard to. Well, I mean, it's not hard to go from your area that you grew up into Illinois, Missouri.
Right. Yeah, because you could just look right across the river to Illinois and then drive 15 minutes and be in Missouri. 15, 20, whatever.
Yeah. So.
But yeah.
Not hard.
Yeah, I think I waited there for a while though because I was really scared. And ran from them at a festival that we had. That was fun because that friend is now passed away. So it's kind of a fun memory. She took off. We just bolted. Yeah, It was just that was kind of our thing though, running from the cops. And I actually had a party at my parents' house once, and I thought it was our friends coming up with flashlights, and I was being all like funny and like joking around. And no, it was my dad's friend who was an officer, and he was not happy with me.
Nice.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Down on the square, that used to be open, like at night, like during the summers. So
Was it? Did it used to be like more active?
so like everybody would like go down there, like just hang out. So like, because the square would be like full of people just sitting in cars. Yeah, sitting in cars or standing on the sidewalk, just talking. You know,
Nice.
sometimes there were fights that happened, and then the cops come flying down, and you gotta get out of there.
That sounds fun.
The square got shut down because there were just too many fights happening after a while. I mean, like, I watched some people get their tires slashed. I watched some people get knocked on the ground and crack their heads open.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah. I've watched these dudes like surround like a little like Chevy S10, and this dude was trying to get his keys, and he got his car started, him and his buddy were getting just beat on. And
you watched this?
Yeah, I watched it. I was like 17, and the dude's like revving his truck trying to get people to get out of the way, and then he just hits the gas, and people move, and then they start busting off like his side mirrors and like slash one of his tires.
How morbid would it be to watch somebody get run over?
Yeah. People would stop people's cars and like try and get them to fight and all that, and they would like slash the tires when they were stopped there, and then they would just peel off out of there.
That's scary. Oh, and that morbid comment was not meant to be weird.
Yeah.
Just thought about that.
And then like if people didn't want to get the square shut down, go fight at the skate park, the old skate park.
Where's that?
7th Street.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
interesting.
I watched him fight a guy. I mean, they probably went like 5 or 6 rounds.
Wow.
Yep. And then somebody had called someone saying that they were at a fight down there, and then all of a sudden you just hear a bunch of sirens start up, cop car sirens. Everybody just took off.
What made you want to be a cop then?
What made me want to be a cop?
Yeah.
Like, this is like jumping way ahead into the future.
Well, I'm saying, is that something that contributed to you wanting to be a cop, or no?
No.
Okay.
As a teenager, no. I had no thought, rhyme, or reason at that point in my life to ever want to be a cop.
What did you want to be then? An emo rock star?
No.
Your baggy pants that you wore?
Emo people wear like the really tight pants.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I just meant because your hair.
You're talking about like goth people.
Yeah.
No.
You could look kind of emo right now with how long well, I guess before you got a haircut, your hair was just blowing in the wind.
Yeah. Well, if you want your hair to look good and professional, gotta have a little bit longer and put some product in it.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, when I was in high school, I didn't have any thought of being a cop, anything like that. I knew I wanted to do military service. And
what made you want to get into that?
9/11.
Oh, yeah. Pretty standard for our age group. Yeah.
And sure enough, we had 2 wars going on at that time.
Yeah.
When I first joined in 2006, and yeah.
Fun. Nice. Yeah, so continuing to talk about teenage years. Were you working consistently, and like then you went to college right after you graduated, or like did you wait until you got back from?
So after I graduated high school, I went to basic training in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. I went straight through. From basic training to my advanced individual training. I was in Oklahoma from like June to October of 2007. And that was a wild experience. That was my first time ever being away from home on my own. Because I'd never gone to a summer camp. I'd never done anything like that.
How was that for you?
When I remember, I remember waking up the day to leave, and I remember backing out of the driveway, and I'll be honest, I cried. I was like, I don't want to go, but I made a commitment to something, and I knew I had to do it.
Yeah. Was it just like the fear of the unknown and just like
yes,
the unfamiliar?
The fear of the unknown and never being away from home before.
Yeah.
And staying down to Camp Dodge, did some paperwork there, all of us who were shipping out. And then we stayed the night at a hotel across from the airport. I really didn't get much sleep that night. Woke up, didn't really eat breakfast at all, just because nerves,
yeah.
Went back to Camp Dodge, went to, oh God, I don't even remember what the building is called now, but got our paperwork taken care of, got on the bus, went to the airport, got on the plane, and, I was with other guys my age, 18 years old, 18 to say like 23, leaving, going for basic training for the Army. Fly to Dallas Fort Worth, and then met up with this. We got shuttled because you always meet like a liaison. All right, you guys are coming from here to here. Now you go here. Here's your flight. Here we go. And because we went from Dallas Fort Worth to Oklahoma City, and that was like literally the shortest plane ride I've ever been on. We literally went up, leveled off, and then started our descent.
Cool.
So it was, it took like 30 minutes.
Was that your first time on a plane or no?
No. Okay. And we got there, we got on shuttle to a bus, and we had like a 2-hour bus ride to Fort Sill. 2 or 3 hours. I mean, because Fort Sill's on the western edge of Oklahoma. It's in the part where transitions from like Fort Sill, like transitions from like trees and grass to all this to desert. Just depending on what side of the Fort Sill you're on.
Cool.
I remember going to sleep on the bus and like waking up, saying welcome to Fort Sill, home of the artillery. And my mindset clicked. All right, we're here. Let's do this. There's no going back.
Right.
Bus pulls up. This drill sergeant comes up, and I'm like, it's my first time seeing a drill sergeant in real life ever. I'm like, holy crap, that guy's huge. Just this big muscular dude. And he's all like, welcome to Fort Sill, welcome to reception, Fort Sill, yada, yada, yada. Says, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes after I get off this bus, collect your stuff and get off. Single file. Okay, cool. He gets off the bus. I think maybe 5 seconds goes by. And he screams, I told you to get off the fucking bus! Move! And then also there's people beating on the windows and shit, screaming for us to get off, just calling us every name in the book. And people are running off. They're like, get off the bus, get off the bus, get off the bus, hurry, hurry, hurry. And when it's time for me to get off the bus, I just jumped off. I remember the drill, so I'm like, get up! He's like, get off jump off the bus after I did it.
Yeah.
And we had to run out, and we had, like the Marine Corps famously has like the yellow shoe prints or whatever that you put your feet on and stand at attention. I can't remember if Fort Sill had that either, but I remember like yellow boxes or yellow lines, but I can't remember if they're like the feet print there. And we were standing there, and I just remember it being so hot. And then it automatically like switched to like freezing cold. And then it started downpouring on us and a giant thunderstorm had. And here we are, like a couple hundred of us, and we're getting like, and this is like, oh man, this is probably like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Were you scrawny?
It's 131 pounds when I weighed in at basic training. So we got shuttled in. We had to fill out paperwork. They gave us like this like food you could eat.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't again really eat it. And then we got put in like these barracks rooms, you know, and they're like, you just sit and wait.
Mm-hmm.
And we had no direction after that. Sit and wait. We were in a barracks building in reception for Fort Sill, and we just didn't know what to do. And some dude's like, let's just go find the chow hall and eat. And dude's like, no, we were told to wait. And this dude's like, what are they going to do to us? That, you know, like, we were told to wait. So we waited. And I mean, dude, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, no sleep, no food, no nothing. Like, what's going on here? And they're like, all right, now you're going to go to this chow hall. And it was a decent chow hall. Reception, we got all of our immunizations. We got our heads shaved. We got our uniforms. We got all our gear, our running shoes, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't just like all in one day. Like one day you did immunizations and get your hair cut. Next is you go to this little PX, which that's like a little like shopping store.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I've been in a couple. They're really cool.
And well, this was like super tiny.
Mm-hmm.
And like you get all of like your dental stuff, like toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, things like that. Get all that stuff. Hand sanitizer. What else? Sunblock. So in reception, yep. And then like another day would be, all right, let's go over all your paperwork to see what rank you're going to be at. You know, did you have any college credits that get you promoted to being from like a private E1 pay grade? Can you do like an E2? Can you do an E3? Just depending on like if you got any college credits, or say like you were in the National Guard and you got a few people to join. If you get 2 people to join the National Guard, you can get promoted to private first class. If you get 1 person joining, you get private E2. If you don't get anybody, you're a private E1. E1 private in the Army, you have no rank insignia at all, none. And then a private E2, you have insignia. E3, you have insignia. So yeah, we did all that, and that was interesting. And like they always had these bleachers for us to sit on too, and they had some kind of cover for us to like wait to go into like get our boots, get our uniforms, like our ACU uniforms, to get our gear for basic training. And it was so hot. It was like sitting in an oven. Like that's one of the big things about Fort Sill in Oklahoma that I remember. In summer, it was just this dry heat, and you just felt like you were like in an oven baking. Like you'd put lotion, like not lotion, but you'd put sunscreen on because your head is shaved, like down to nothing. You got to put it on so you don't get sunburnt, because you're government property, and if you get sunburnt, you're gonna get corrective action. You're gonna get smoked, as it's called, push-ups, sit-ups, whatever, for it could be hours. So we went through all that. We were in reception for a week, for a week, and once that week was done and you got all your stuff, then you get broken into your batteries. So for clarification, how do I want to say this? For clarification, for the term battery is another term for company. In every different, like, say, career field in the Army, it's called a company. So you're in this company or that, like Alpha Company, Bravo Company, so on and so forth. Well, in the artillery, it's considered a battery because you're in a gun battery, because you use artillery cannons. So anything artillery, instead of a company, it's called, you're in a battery.
Makes sense.
Because you have a battery of guns. So they keep that. So we got put into whichever battery. So I was put into Golf 179. And there were 3 platoons. Because it was a new battery. So we were the first or second. No, we were the second basic training cycle in Gulf 179. There were only enough drill sergeants for 3 platoons, because 4 platoons makes up a battery or a company, but we had 3, so whatever. I remember when we were all put in our platoons for who we were going to be, and I was in second platoon regulators. Met our drill sergeants, and I had a drill sergeant, senior drill sergeant. He's drill sergeant Castillo. He's a sergeant first class. This guy's from Cuba, and English was his 3rd language. Then I had a drill sergeant Cabrera, who had, I think we were his second or 3rd cycle of him being at Fort Sill. He was in Fort Benning, and he was an infantryman. So he had the blue ring around his U.S. Army emblem on his campaign hat. He's the only infantryman there. And then I had a drill sergeant Smith. So those are my 3 drill sergeants. 2 Hispanic guys, 1 black guy. All the other drill sergeants for the other platoons were all white. So, but like drill sergeant Castillo, I hated that guy. Hated that guy with a passion. Drill sergeant Cabrera, love that guy. Great leader. Drill sergeant Smith, great leader. Love that guy too. So we got broken in there, and we were put on a bus, and we were being taken across the tracks, as they say, to the basic training site. And Drill Sergeant Castillo was like talking and yelling at everybody, but he was like looking at one end more than the end I was on, so we couldn't even understand him. We couldn't hear what he was saying. And he was like talking about his expectations, like, what are you saying? And it was really hard to understand him at first. It took probably 2 weeks for us to understand exactly what he was saying, because again, he's from Cuba. English was his 3rd language. When we were learning to march and he was calling cadence, we'd have to repeat the cadence. Guys wouldn't repeat. We just didn't know what he was saying.
What was his languages before?
Spanish. I think like Spanish.
Is that what Cubans speak in?
Yeah, speak Spanish. What was...
Spanish gives me a headache to listen to.
I can't remember what else. I don't think he ever told us what his 2nd language was.
Oh.
And at one point he asked us, he was like, do you guys have, is it my accent? English is my 3rd language. I need you guys to tell me if you don't understand. And nobody said anything, so he freaked out on us. I can remember multiple times where we were in our bay where we all slept. We'd have to stand toe to line, and for that term means there is a red line that goes around the center. It creates a giant rectangle, and you don't step foot inside that rectangle. That's the drill sergeant's AO. That's their area of occupation. You don't go in there. If you go in there, you're getting fucked up. And not individual, it's all group. So one person screws up, everybody gets it. Oh Lord, I can remember pools of sweat like underneath me. Like we're trying to do push-ups. My hands are slipping out, I'm smacking the ground. Other guys are doing the same. I mean, we're just drenched head to toe for hours.
Mm-hmm.
Hours. These guys are just laying it to us. And we're getting berated. They're calling us every name you can think of. You know, everything under the sun. But I mean, for the time frame that we were in basic training in 2007, we were in Afghanistan in late 01, early 02. We invaded Iraq in 03. We had 2 major conflicts going on. So you needed hard-nosed dudes. You needed guys who can take being berated. You needed guys who could take getting yelled at. You had to learn how to do that. And that was one of the ways they did it, is they would just, they want to tear you down and build you back up. The ways to do that is just berating your character, making you feel like shit, telling you you're a piece of shit, telling you you're not gonna
That's so
be
weird.
worth anything, saying maybe you should just kill yourself, you know, or your parents, excuse this, your mother should have swallowed you, things like that. You know, it's part of tearing you down, and you get tore down. They, you know, that they do that. Just take your mindset of whatever you think you are, and it's just gone. You're just lower than dog shit. And then they systematically build you back up to a stronger person than what you were. Now, that's, again,
subjective.
It can be, yes. Mm-hmm. But from experience, it works. From experience, it works.
I disagree with you, but that's okay.
Okay, that you can disagree with me all you want. You didn't go through it. You didn't, and you won't. Especially in that time frame. That time frame, the type of war we were fighting, you don't want hugs and kisses.
Well, no.
You want hard-nosed dudes who can take being berated, because when you're overseas, you're going to get talked to like that.
Right. I'm saying I disagree with the fact that everyone gets built back up. That's what I'm saying.
I understand that. I'm saying that's
it's a mentality.
How it's supposed to work. You build a hard-nosed, strong mentality, somebody with, and you learn bearing, you learn to keep your mouth shut, you learn to follow orders, you learn to do what you are told. Because in combat, you can't just run and do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. You need to follow orders of your superiors. And they build you up to be a hard-nosed, ready for war kind of person, blood and guts. Is it an indoctrination? Yes, it is. There are plenty of people now who say, well, you shouldn't do that. If you're fighting a war and you need hard-nosed people to want to rip someone's guts out, you need that. You need that mentality. Hugs and kisses aren't going to get you anything.
Yeah.
It's not, you know. And I tell you, by the end of it all, by the time you go through your 3 phases, when you're in red phase, it's game on. First 3 weeks of basic training is just tearing you a new one, just tearing you down. I've been berated like that. I've been thrown on the ground. I've been kicked. I've been punched. I've been choked by all of them. They say they'd say, we're not doing that. Well, they wouldn't do that to you where your barracks were at. They do that out to you on like the rifle range, or they do that to you out on sticks lanes when you're out training. If you do something wrong because you have a weapon, that's fair game. It is. Because at one point you walk down the lanes and you learn to walk and move and maneuver on those lanes. At a certain point, you're getting live ammunition and you're shooting at targets and you're moving. You're moving while a dude across from you 15 yards away is shooting down at a target.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you drop down and you say that, you know, you're in cover and the other guy says cover me while I move, you turn, you start shooting at your target while your guy moves up. If they see anything that looks like you're gonna turn your weapon towards them in any way, shape, or form, they get you. Happened to me. I was walking. Sorry about patting my leg. I'll tell you about the time I got choked. We were walking down the lane. We're doing dry fire, so no ammunition, no nothing. It's the very first thing you do, and you're just walking down. Okay, walk, walk, walk. Say the term, I'm up. He sees me, I'm down. You know. And then another one is walk, walk. Contact front. That one, you raise your rifle up. Go from safe to semi. Bang, bang. You say bang, bang, bang. Back to safe. Muzzle down. Walk forward, contact front. Rifle up. Safe to semi. Bang, bang, bang. Back to safe.
Mm-hmm.
Muzzle down. So, at the end of that, you have to do a facing movement. And that goes with your drill and ceremony. You're supposed to do a right face. Well, if you're right-handed, you do a right face, your barrel and your muzzle stay downrange. If you're left-handed like me, if I do a right face and I hold it the way that I normally do, I'm flagging people. So, when I would see that, I'm like, waiting for my turn. I'm like, okay, when I get down there, I'm going to have to adjust the way I hold my rifle to keep my muzzle downrange. Well, when I got done and they said to do your facing movement, I had my rifle in my right hand up by the barrel where it's supposed to be. Then I had to take my hand off and move it up and then be able to move my right hand back. Well, me taking that off and grabbing it as I go to move my right hand back, so I can do the facing movement, my barrel moves ever so slightly from being downrange. I mean, it moves maybe an inch. And as I'm going to adjust, that thing gets out of my hands. I'm like, what's going on? I feel a guy wrap his arm around my Kevlar helmet, throw my head back, throw the buttstock into my throat, and then squeeze my head down. He's just screaming in my face, I told you to keep that fucking barrel downrange, you fucking piece of shit. I'm going to fucking kill you. And the other drill sergeant was screaming, kill that motherfucker. Kill that motherfucker. So, here I am, 18 years old. Don't know my ass from my elbow. Being choked by this large man who is like, his mouth is on my ear, screaming at me, choking me, saying he's going to fucking kill me. And my vision is starting to go away. Everything's going black. And he says, fucking answer me. I said, Roger, drill sergeant. And he lets me go. And then my vision comes back enough to where I can walk. And
that's kind of fucked up, though. I mean, that is.
Mm-hmm. But again, the time frame in which we were at, the kind of wars we were fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're talking about guys who went through Fallujah and Ramadi who were in urban combat, door to door, building to building, in close combat, were in hand to hand combat,
mm-hmm.
killing people who were trying to kill them.
Yeah.
All the drill sergeants in my battery were all Iraq war veterans. And some of them were even Desert Storm veterans too.
Mm-hmm.
All of these guys had been rotated into Iraq prior to at least once or twice prior to ever being a drill sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
So they all were a little jacked up in the head. Some of those guys, they had knives. They'd pop them out at you and hold them up to your neck.
But then you wonder why these
these
veterans
guys
are a little fucked up. I mean, in reality.
In reality, fighting wars, yeah. You
Yeah.
can say that about every war that's gone through.
Yeah.
You know, and
That's kind of wrong though. In reality. In theory.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Some of these guys were definitely unstable. And you could see it.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you could see it. But there were other ones who were there to train guys to be as lethal as they could be.
Mm-hmm.
Because they said, you will go. They all said it, like, you're going to fight in war. All of you. Some of you will die. They told us that. They're like, that's the truth. We need to make you as dangerous as you can be.
Did some of you die? Not you.
I don't know.
Some of them.
I don't know.
Any of the guys you went with?
In basic training, I have no idea.
Oh.
When I was deployed, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the reality. That's the harsh reality of it.
Right.
So, yeah. So, before Whiteface, like, the reason why I hated that drill sergeant Castillo, when we were doing our basic rifle marksmanship, so this is when we would do like weapons qual, we would get our rifles sighted for our eye and all that, so that way we could have accurate fire. We weren't allowed to do our own adjustments on our rifles. Our drill sergeants had to do it for us. Well, I had Drill Sergeant Castillo, and that guy, if he didn't like you, and he didn't like me from like the beginning, if he didn't like you, he purposefully adjusted your sights the opposite way that they needed to be. Because if you failed a phase, you would get recycled to another basic training cycle, and you would start over. And you would start over with them. So that's what he did to try and get rid of people. And I remember and it kind of put like a stigma in my head for the longest time, and from time to time it still pops up in my head, that like when I would go to like do quals, when I'd qualify with a rifle, like I couldn't get it. Like I was shooting, like, you need a minimum of 23 out of 40 targets hit to pass in the Army. Well, I was getting like 15, 20. And I mean, I'm going time after time after time after time. And I got so frustrated. I'm like, I'm not good at this. I'm going to get recycled. I'm a terrible shot. I'm not going to be lethal like I should be.
Proving the point of why he did it. To fuck with you.
Yeah, and to get rid of you.
Yeah.
And then I was like on my last chance. So like me and another guy, we went through, and Drill Sergeant Cabrera was an infantryman. Went back through because we zeroed our rifles. And him being an infantryman, you know, he knows how to shoot and he's very good at it. He sat with me one time prior to re-zeroing. He was with me, and he was like, you need to hit that. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why aren't you fucking hitting anything? And then he was like, who helped you zero your rifle? And I was like, it was Drill Sergeant Castillo. And right away he was like, okay, that makes sense. He's like, okay, we're going to get this taken care of tomorrow. Because we were going down, I was shooting from like mid-morning to like dark. I rotated through so many times. It was me and one guy left in my platoon. And the next day we went back to the zero range, and we re-zeroed, and Drill Sergeant Cabrera was there making the adjustments. And he made sure on mine that it was good to go. And then I went out there and I qualled, and he was like, that's better, you know. I think I got like 29 or 30 out of 40. But since I wasn't a first time go, I got, no matter what, my score is going to be 23, bare minimum marksman. Okay. And he said to me, he's like, Drill Sergeant Castillo was running around here fucking guys shit up on purpose. And he was like, I started seeing it when we were there, whatever. He's like, I tried to get as many as I could. But myself and that other guy in my platoon, he wasn't able to get us because he just didn't know. Like I said, he was trying to get everybody because Drill Sergeant Castillo was fucking it up on purpose. And I think he said he was doing a lot of stuff like that throughout our cycle to just get rid of people. So got my weapon zero the way it should be. From then on out, I'm hitting targets, you know. And after we get qualled, then we go and do our reflexive fire stick lanes and all that stuff, and had no issue after that. But, you know, so then after red phase was done, we went to white phase. Once you get into white phase, you get a little bit more responsibility for yourself, because in theory, by the time you hit blue phase, your last 3 weeks, you're supposed to be your platoon. You take care of yourselves. The drill sergeants come in and monitor things like that, but everything is on you guys. So we made it through white phase fine. We got into blue phase, and 2 dudes got in a fight, and one guy got his teeth knocked through his lip.
Ew.
And he cut his mouth open.
Sounds painful.
He had to go get stitches, and nobody talked about it. And on our guidon, and our guidon is like, it's a flagpole, like a little stick that you carry with a flag, and whatever phase you were in, that's the color of the flag. Well, we got our guidon taken from us. We got the blue flag stripped off of it, so we had to walk around without anything, and we just got treated like we were in red phase again, just like dog shit for like 2 weeks. So the first 2 weeks of blue phase, we were like red phase again, and then the last week they gave it back to us, and because we had completed everything else, it was interesting.
No, it's an interesting story.
Yeah, because like the last thing we did before we graduated it's called Nick at Night, and what we would do is we got driven out to a range, and this range is like if you're like doing like a night infiltration, and this was so much fun. It's like middle of the night, you're guided around with by a drill sergeant, and like, all right, your platoon, you need to low crawl up this sandy hill, and it's a big one. You low crawl up it, and then you come over some sandbags, and then it's just a giant open field that you have to low crawl, so head to the ground, dirt everywhere, and they're shooting live rounds over your head. And there's simulated artillery rounds and mortar rounds going off. So they have like holes that are like pre-dug, and they just pop off. You're crawling under barbed wire and everything like that, so you're getting like caught on it, getting like kicked in the hands and whatever, because it's pitch black, you can barely see. So that was a lot of fun doing that. That was hard because you low crawl like 200 meters.
Sounds like an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, so you low crawl like 2 football fields from one end to the other. Then when you're done, then you do a 12-mile ruck march back. And I mean, it's downhill, uphill, it's everything. And then, yeah, Drill Sergeant Castillo was there at the end, because I didn't tell you this, but like halfway through basic training, he was removed.
Oh.
Because when he was teaching combatives, he choked a guy out. To his credit, he told the dude to pat his leg or else he's going to get choked out. He has to demonstrate the move. Well, the guy just balled up his fists and just thought he could take it. And he passed out. And one of the guys who was like, I think he's an honor graduate, he was doing really well, like halfway through. He got to have lunch with the post commander and the post sergeant major. Just kind of something that they do with like basic training cycles to see how it's going, get the trainee's perspective on things. And the guy was like, yeah, one of the best parts was watching Drill Sergeant Castillo choke out Private so-and-so. And they were like, oh, really? So they removed him. But he was there at the end for once we got done with Nick at Night in our, because doing your Nick at Night and your Ruck March, that's your rite of passage to earn the title of soldier. And he was there and he was talking to this dude who was like in the rank ahead of me. He was like, Lane, you fucking piece of shit. Like, if it was up to me, your ass would have fucking recycled a long time ago. And this dude was like, he's like, I'm so-and-so, Drill Sergeant Lane is the next rank behind us. He's like, oh. And then when he got to me, because he was handing out like these coins, he's like, did you fucking hear what I said, you piece of shit? And I'm like, yes, Drill Sergeant, by that time I want to rip that dude's throat out. But I kept my bearing. And yeah, I think he ended up getting, I think that was like, he was done after that, being like a drill sergeant. I think they were like, no, you're done. You're not, you've lost the title.
Took it a little bit too far.
Yeah. Yeah, and then after that, we had our basic training graduation, everything like that. My mom and dad came down. We just walked down. We walked down the street to the AIT barracks, the Advanced Individual Training Barracks, and that's where I learned my MOS skill set. And that was a lot different. It's a military occupational skill.
Just for context.
Yeah. So in mine, I learned to call in artillery rounds and all that. So I would observe like from a hilltop, and we would call in rounds and we'd give adjustments. So if it was like off to the left by like 100 meters and like 300 meters beyond it, we would make adjustments to drop it down and then over, things like that. It was hard, but we got it done. I got it done, things like that.
Nice.
We were given more freedoms. Pretty much just like you'd be like blue phrase of basic training, where you take care of yourselves. You're given time hacks of where you need to be and what you need to do, things like that. We need to go to class. But if you screwed up, you got smoked. Like, I remember when I got to AIT, I was in 4th platoon, and I had a female drill sergeant. It was the first female drill sergeant I had seen since forever. And we had her for like 2 weeks, and then the drill sergeants, the Army decided to pull them out of AIT and let the cadre who taught you the job to take over. And all those guys were like, they're Afghan war vets. All of them. So like basic training was Iraq war vets. AIT was Afghan war vets. Those dudes were just as psychotic as the other guys. Mm-hmm. Had 3 cadre, so like a senior cadre and then his 2 assistant cadre. The senior cadre was a sergeant first class. He was a white guy. I want to say his name. I want to say it was Williams. Sergeant first class Williams. And then we had a Staff Sergeant Cortez and a Staff Sergeant Smith. Cortez, obviously a Hispanic guy. Staff Sergeant Smith was a black guy. But Sergeant First Class Williams, he went on like leave for a couple of weeks because he had a kid born. And oh my God, when he was gone, all hell broke loose. Cortez and Smith, two of the most racist guys I've ever met in my life.
How so?
Oh, they'd call us honkies and crackers and white pieces of shit. And they'd try and call us racist because guys would be like, oh, what you little racist white boy. What the fuck are you gonna do about it? We were out in training, and I remember we were putting up a tent for like however many guys because we were staying the night out there. Cortez threw a sledgehammer at me. He went, and it breezed by me. And he was like, "Oh shit! I almost fucking got you, lame white boy. You know, fucking do something
What if
about
it would have hit you?
It would have killed me because the head went right by my head. He'd have fucking killed me.
Then what would have happened to him?
He'd be in Leavenworth for the rest of his life.
Leavenworth is what?
A prison."
Mm-hmm. I knew that, but yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
They
And
were like that.
so, because we had designated like platoon leader, platoon guide, assistant platoon guide,
Mm-hmm.
squad leaders. So our first class Williams picked them out. Said, "This is all of it." Well, when he left, if Smith was in charge, he'd fire all of them, and he would put, I think we had one black kid in the platoon. He put him as the platoon guide. And that dude got so cocky, and he'd call us the N-word, he'd call us honky, cracker, he'd call the Hispanic guys slurs. And then Cortez would show up, fire him from the job, put all Hispanic guys, and then we had a few Hispanic guys, and we all got along. All of us besides thought he was better than everybody. But I mean, yeah. But all the rest of us, the white guys, the Hispanic guys, we all got along. And then, but it was like a living hell.
It's crazy.
Sergeant Smith, he smoked our entire battery for 3 hours outside on the drill pads where we all stand. That was rough. It was really rough. And then they'd smoke us and up in our bay. Him and Cortez would. I mean, they would just berate us every chance we got. And then we had a civilian contractor who would run the simulator that we would do the training on before we go out to a range and actually do it. Mr. Poblete was his name. Just as racist as Cortez.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he would crack her honky. Well, you white piece of shit. You know, just the same stuff. Then Sergeant First Class Williams came back from his leave. Everything changed after that. There was no more racism.
Interesting.
Yeah. But the night before we oh man. At one point, so in AIT, if we passed all of our tests and we did everything Monday through Friday, we would get the weekends off. So we could go off post and things like that, or on post, just whatever. One dude bought a stun gun, and that thing was floating around the entire time we were there. Well, one dude from one of the other barracks came in and got stunned, because we were all messing around, and he was joking about it. Well, one of the cadre heard it. So everybody, the whole battery got smoked again. We really got it. Oh, man. And I remember the night before our graduation, we got smoked for like 4 hours straight. Doing like 1,000+ jumping jacks. And that that hurts after a while, you know? Just straight counting, push-ups, flutter kicks. You're just dying in pools of sweat,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I remember one time too when we first got there, I just thought of this. Like our first week there, I think it was like we were there like it was our third day. Middle of the night, this is when they were still drill sergeants, this random drill sergeant just threw our door open and screamed for everybody to get up. And we all ran out to the PT field, and he smoked us out there for an hour. And then he was all like, "That's what you fucking get, you so-and-sos." And turns out he had the wrong platoon in the wrong battery. Because we were our MOS designated was 13 Foxes. I think he was like, "Oh, I was looking for Bravos. Whoops. Sorry, guys."
Oops. Don't
So for
join
an
the
hour.
military.
An hour.
Oh my
We got
God.
smoked for an hour for nothing.
I feel like this is like literally like just
It-
an advertisement for don't join the military.
No, dude, do it.
Oh.
It's do it.
You're making it
No,
sound
no.
off.
To be out of
Yeah.
all the stuff that I said, you know,
Yeah.
it sounds crazy.
Yeah, it does.
Can be terrifying, right? And people say, "Well, why would you do that?" Because at the end of the day,
Mhm.
to earn the title to call yourself a United States Army soldier,
Yeah.
to have that experience and to take positives away from it
It's a
that you
huge
carry
honor.
for the rest of your life.
Yeah, yeah.
Bearing, you know, keep your bearing, keep your cool, know how to deal with stress, and just build on that throughout your life is great. The opportunities that you would get to do in the Army. Yeah, there's a lot of things out there. You see videos online. "Oh, why'd you join the Army? For this, for that. Oh, I hate the Army. I hate doing this, I hate doing that." Yeah, there's a lot of stupid stuff that you have to do.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, if you really look into like the career fields that they have in the Army, you can do some really good stuff. You can do a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of stuff that will. They have X-ray techs in the Army. You can be an X-ray tech
I know.
in the Army, work in a hospital on an active duty post, and when you're done, that stuff like transfers to like civilian life.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
learn to be in aviation. Like getting into aviation is tough, but like you have to be like a certain rank. Like you have to be like a warrant officer or an officer to fly helicopters. You know, you can be an enlisted person, be a crew chief on it, work on a helicopter, learn the how these helicopters work, and then become an officer, become a warrant officer, and fly helicopters. There's several different helicopters that translates into civilian life. You know, get a lot of cool stuff to do there.
Yeah.
There's so many opportunities. You can go airborne, you can jump out of airplanes. You know, there's a lot of cool, exciting, fun things you can do in life while in the military, whether you're in active Army, the National Guard, or the Reserve.
Yeah.
You can do all of that. You just have to be willing to do it and find it.
That's a good way to end this episode.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say?
No. I mean, that's just a little part of my life. You know, I've got to do some cool stuff in the Army. I've got to learn how to talk to aircraft to drop bombs on people and to do like gun runs on stuff. I've learned how to do like naval gunfire, have Navy ships shoot rounds at things. I've got to be across the world, and I got to fight in war, and I got to learn the devastation of war with having somebody die in my company,
Lots
which
of stuff.
sucks.
Yeah.
You know, but I got to do that. I got to see things. I got to see what a third world country is like. And
How is that for people who don't know?
It sucks.
Everybody who says the United States sucks and they want to leave.
Nope. You spend You go ahead and you spend a year in a third world country, and you come back and you tell me how much it sucks. Tell me how much it sucks that this country is so terrible, but yet Afghanistan was run and is run again by the Taliban, who won't let little girls go to school, who won't let women have education. Afghanistan is a third world country where if you live out in the boonies, you have a river that is flowing, and you have to gather as much water as you can before it dries up at the end of spring and into summer.
Yeah.
I met people who thought we were the Russians. They had no idea that Russia left Afghanistan back in the 80s. So
what we have over here is not really that bad.
It's not bad at all. I can tell you what, when I left this country and I was gone for a year and I came back, I looked around and I thought the world had changed. I was like, what happened to this country? But I think the glass was shattered. Because I thought everything was great. I thought it was, I had no stigmas about anything. But then I come back and I see people bitch, moan, and complain about their situation here, and I'm like, dude, like, your situation is not bad. You have running water, you have gas and electricity, you have internet. I've seen people that are in so much pain and their body's twisted and contorted from some kind of muscle disfigurement that they can't move, and their family has to have them lay on the floor in the house at night, and then during the day when it's warm out, they take them outside and put them under a bush, under like a little bush tree. And they can't get them to a hospital or get them medicine because the Taliban will kill them and won't allow doctors in the area. Or people complain about their neighbors like not mowing their lawn. Like, really?
Or don't stand for the flag.
Yeah, this country has given us everything. And you don't have to agree with everything. You don't have to agree with anything. But at the end of the day, this country has built itself up to give you everything and more.
Yeah.
You need to be grateful because it can all go away.
If you don't take much from this episode, which you should take a lot from this episode, but take the fact that you should be grateful.
Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for the country you live in, and take opportunities. If you want to do something, do it. Go for it.
Thanks for sharing. That was really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell the listeners goodbye.
Okay. I'm telling you goodbye.
That was a really cool episode to record with my husband and hear his experience from high school, through basic training, and everything in between. I hope you enjoyed that episode as much as I did and took something from it. And I look forward to having him back on the podcast because he has a lot of interesting things to say and we agree on a lot of different topics. I really value his opinion and his outlook on life. So yeah, with that being said, I will look forward to seeing you guys next week. And for now, I will see you later.